This episode of Legendary is brought to you by World of Warplanes. To try out World of Warplanes absolutely free, just head on over to offergb.com/warplanes.
Game Breaker TV.
Meow, 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 meow.
We need a cat version of this.
We do need a cat version of the opening. That should be the opening for 2014. Let's do it. What is up? What's up, Legendary Beeps? It's Thursday night. I'm Gary again. You're watching Legendary. What episode is this? 156.
56.
Wow! Coming up on tonight, the siege gets nerfed! The bad wave hits hard. And not one, but two mounts. Plus, of course, we got to talk about the new character models dropping today. That's coming up as well. Joining us from Raw Insider, Zam, and right here on GameBreaker.tv, it's Olivia D. Grace. How is up, Liv?
Good, I'm good. I'm kind of hyper right now, actually. I had a coffee like 20 minutes ago, and it's kind of made me go...
Damn, coffee? What time is it, Dave?
Yeah, I know. It's coffee at 4:17 in the morning. That is the optimal time. That's the optimal time to drink coffee, the internet.
It is the optimal time for scotch. Scotch. Not coffee.
Look, I've got this.
Oh, you just made the internet jelly.
This is a noise that Deathwing doesn't make.
Definitely does not. Deathwing goes meow, 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 meow. Johnny goes from Convert to Raid. Pat Crane, how are you, sir?
Hi, Gary.
Meow.
That's right.
We're just talking cat voice today. Meow.
We'll do that version of the song next week. Everybody,
Yeah.
Gary's gonna work hard to make sure that.
We need Legendary the opening all cats.
Oh That's right.
Do you know? I drive everybody. I drive everyone nuts. Hey, Mike Shaftnet's here too. What's up?
Oh hi.
Oh, by the way, yeah, just try to Anyway, moving on.
I drive everybody crazy at the holiday times. If you go like if you have like Spotify or probably Spotify I guess or Mog, one or the other. If you search like Christmas songs by cats or Christmas songs for dogs, like you will find like full CDs of the cats. It's like the funniest thing for about like 45 seconds maybe. And then everyone's like, shut us off. And I'm like, no, it's amazing. We gotta listen to cats for like 8 hours. We just listen to cats caroling. It's true. It's a true story.
Yeah.
Do your cats actually even respond to it though? Are your cats just like, what even is this? This is auto-tuned, man. This is like Kesha for cats.
This is
terrible.
Did you hear that? Did you hear
My cats
that
give
cat's
zero
voice?
shits.
I love it.
Cats give zero shits. Cats give zero shits.
That's true.
And my cat's like 20. She's like barely alive.
Don't get the music for these young cats.
She's like, just feed me. Let me poop and feed me. I'm fine.
The kitties these days with their music, with their crazy kitty music.
with their crazy dubstep.
Welcome to This Week in Cats. We did the Republic earlier. It was This Week in Bacon. And we're going to talk about pork products. And
look at that.
Legendary switching over next week to This Week in Cats. So that's where the programming is going. Everything's going to shit over here, according to the internet. So
Happy New Year.
Oh, it'd be a good show. A Game Breaker according to comments on Facebook. That might be. We might have to bring Coltrane's comments back just for the Game Breaker comments. That's a show I can. Oh, spilling my scotch. Did you see that?
Don't do that.
He's getting so overexcited.
That is a show I can get behind. All right.
Right.
You guys want to talk about World of Warcraft? No? Okay, let's talk about pork.
Sure.
All right, let's do it. My chat's just crashing, so just ignore me for a second.
That's good.
Scotchy.
The vanilla, the peat, it's all mixing up. It's all good.
I got some nice Talisker for my birthday, actually.
Nice.
Why are they drinking that? Why are they drinking that? I'm going to AFK scotch.
Yeah. I keep my bottle really handy, so right nearby, just in case, in case
right
you need
by
a
his
refill.
feet.
Nice. Oh, you got the Glenmorangie. Nice.
Oh yes. It's the only 10 to get. For Scotch lovers out there, this is a great bottle. This is like the cheapest bottle.
World of Scotchcraft. All right, we've got another show to do after this.
Welcome
Let's
to
go.
This Week in Scotch. Today I'm drinking Glenmorangie 10. I put a little bit of water in it to just open up the bouquet. It's opening nice. All right. Was there any news today?
Nah.
There's none.
Yeah.
Scotch news.
Mm-hmm.
Female character models have hit. There's a lot of news, but we'll start with this one. Female character models hits the internets today. Brand new. We didn't get the, I was hoping we would get the little animations. We didn't get the little animations. I like the little run in place turntable thing. I think that's the professional term, the turntable. We don't have those yet. Where'd they go? But, Artcraft, which I guess is World of Warcraft, Blizzard's new, blog style posty post to show some art. What do you guys think? What'd you think? I think they look fantastic. I mean, they look great.
Yeah, it looks really good. I think that this kind of goes along with the other updates that they've done, where I mean, you can tell from the side by side right there how cleaned up it is, but it doesn't really change the appearance. I mean, the soul of the characters, they would call it. It doesn't really change that too much, so that's kind of cool. But they've just updated it enough to make it really pop. So
yeah, exactly. I think they look awesome. They look like they've been really, really faithful to the original, like particularly the original size and the original shape of the model. Like they've not slimmed them. Like the undead model developed a bum. It's like, where did that come from? What's going on here? Suddenly they've got like, this is the corpse of like some person who's famous for their bum. Think of a celebrity, it's them. But it's like they've been really true to the original proportions of the human character model. All I've been getting, all I've been getting,
you know what I'm talking about.
But all I've been getting all day, I've had like, I'm not slash flexing, but I've had so many people today saying, "Hey, it looks just like you." Like, no, it doesn't. I mean,
it kind of.
The vacant stare really pulls it off. Actually,
there really is some resemblance there. I'm calling it. They modeled the female character model after Olivia D.
That's why she was in California so many months ago.
They had to do all kinds of facial scanning.
I was doing all the motion capture for the female character model. This is a lie.
Did he do the Macarena then for the dance? Did he get to do that?
Oh.
I don't know where's the game. I know it does that much, but where does it? Like, sorry, I can't. And then. Is it hips then?
It's hips next, and then it's back
and
across.
then it's like round and over to the side.
And it's wiggle, yep.
Of course, Mike Shafton.
Macarena 101.
Why am I not surprised?
Why are we not surprised? Is that what you do in your yellow dress, Shaf?
He totally knows it. I gotta fix these now. Now we're all screwed up. Pat Crane, do you know the Macarena?
I used to.
Who doesn't know the Macarena? Come on.
I forgot.
That is the whitest dance to ever grace mankind.
As soon as that came out, I tried to forget it like immediately. I've been trying to forget this for how long now?
Burned into your skull.
Exactly.
True facts.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you think these stack up against the other ones, the orcs, the dwarves?
Man, I honestly think that these are the best ones they've done so far. This is I mean, I don't have a huge opinion on the male orcs were good, but the male dwarves, I don't know that I like them. Like, I could see that what they were trying to do, but I kind of felt like you could tell that they did the male dwarves first. Like, we know that was the first model they did, and I kind of feel like you could tell. These ones, are, to me at least, they're so spot on. The undead, I was kind of disappointed with. Like, since I started playing US Horde, I play a ton of undead, and I'm like, I'm kind of disappointed with these, particularly the male undead heads that we saw. But these ones are awesome. Like, I'm super impressed with these. What do you guys think?
I gotta say, I like these just because I get that you can truly see a difference between them. I'm not completely ignorant of which was which, but I did, when I first saw these, I looked at it, I was like, wait, so how is that really different from any of the models? Like, every one of the hairstyles, every one of, like, even the face was something that I recognized, and I was kind of, I kind of had the ability to be like, I know exactly where that's coming from. It looks better, but it doesn't feel any different. And as both Pat and Olivia said, it's true to what it was, and that's exactly what they've said time and time again that they wanted to do. They wanted to update it without changing it, and
look how terrible.
Again, they've accomplished it.
Look how terrible that old model looks up against that.
Yeah.
I know, man. I know.
It looks so terrible. Like, you forget how bad they are because they've been, with suits of armor for so long. You don't, like, stare at them, and now you look at them like this, and you're like, wow, they are bad.
I know, and it's like, there's a bunch of people who are saying they made it thinner, and it's actually like, it's just because there's not any corners on her thighs anymore.
It's actually round. Well, and also people were like, and she got a tan. But did people forget you could actually change? Like, the skin color shown is a drastic skin color difference. Like, you could change the skin tones of the human.
For sure, and also like the face, like you look at any of our faces. We are white, like pale skin nerds on this show, and none of us have a face that is uniform in color.
What's sun? I also blame our cameras, our variety of cameras and camera processing and different lights.
Yeah, for sure.
What?
Pat's been trying to say something for ages, and we keep interrupting him.
No, the only thing that I wanted to say was that once we get animations for these characters, oh my god, they're just gonna take off because we all saw it at BlizzCon when we went in and jumped in for our 15-20 minutes, whatever it was, and got to check them out and do the slash dance and all that kind of fun stuff. And it's really, really cool. The animations are really going to bring these things to life. And now that the skin tones actually have shading, they actually right. They're not uniform color. They have some shading to them. They're not just white or not just pinkish.
Pasty.
Right, exactly, or pasty, like Mike.
Do you guys
yeah. Honestly, of the people on this show, you decide to go for Mike as pasty when I'm basically like a sheet of A4 over here.
Hey, it's been
A4. Look what you had there. Nice.
It's been so damn cold in Minnesota that I haven't been outside in weeks. So yeah, I'm not really one to talk either. So
do you guys think? Do you think these new models will we'll actually see a resurgence of machinima? Do you think this will get a lot of people excited to get back? It's kind of because I feel like it's died off a little bit. Like, people are doing it, but not really like it was back in the day, right? Like, it was back in the early days. There was like so many people doing like kick-ass machinima. I could see them all getting really excited again to come back in.
Can I give a quick tip out there, just for anybody out there who really loves machinima? If you go to the Blizzard careers page, there's actually a job opening for a machinima artist. So if you had the previous, they're clearly thinking in that direction that they want to try and encourage machinima. So if you've done it in the past, they've given you better models now, and there's the opportunity to maybe even do it for Blizzard.
There you go. You guys think should they be giving players free recustomizations with these models?
This is one of the things that everybody has asked since they started doing this, and I don't know that they really need to. I mean, it'd be nice, but I don't think they need to because once again, Blizzard has been so careful with trying to make sure that they don't change their quote unquote soul. That I think that as long as you pick that character and the skin tone and everything like that beforehand, you should be pleasantly surprised by all the new models. I think it would be nice if they did it. I don't think they have to do it, though.
I hope, can I just say real quick, looking at these pictures we keep pulling up, I really hope that the hair flows as, not as real, I know there's better out there, but the hair looks great. It's not just some blocky lines. Like, it feels like you can see individual hairs, especially in that picture right there. And I hope, to a certain level, that it's not just like rock hard, real looking hair. I hope that it kind of interacts like real hair too.
Yeah, and I think it's going to, from playing the, like, I was lucky to kind of get a bit longer than just 20 minutes, so I sort of went and looked at all the different models and got the dwarf with the most possible available hair, and they jump up and down. It's like wee, wee, it moves, like the hair actually moves around like real hair would, rather than just being like Lego hair. And it's really good. Like the hair movement is really good, and the way that these faces are so expressive. Like, you look at the female gnome, you look at the orcs that we've seen. Like, we've seen a ton of the expressions, like static expressions so far, and they're so good. Like, they're going to be so good for machinima as well. Like, take the pandas and like bump it up a level. Like, these are going to make the pandas look bad. They're very impressive.
Can't wait to see them.
Oh,
I want to see the turntables. We got to see the turntables hopefully soon. We'll get how far do you expect the mail to be? Or no, we saw that. And what else do you think? What do you think's next? What else is left? There's a bunch left to still see.
Oh, there's a ton left. Yeah.
There's a ton.
Blood Elf, Night Elf, Troll. I don't think we've seen Troll yet.
No,
We haven't seen any trolls. We haven't seen any. I think female orcs. We need to see female dwarves. Haven't been animated. The only animated models we've seen have been the male orc, male dwarf, and I think we've seen the dance animation of the gnome. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've not seen fully. We haven't seen fully animated gnome. The only playable ones were the orc and the dwarf males. So hopefully some more ladies. I really want to see orc lady is my favorite like race body and heads. So I'm really hoping to see those next.
Can somebody make? All right, I have a machinima assignment for the machinima makers out there. Can somebody now turn in Lionel Richie's lady into Orc Lady? That would win BlizzCon. That would win.
Get involved.
That wasn't even the biggest news. You see the Warlords of Drano box art dropped? That dropped. People gotta miss this one.
Warlords of Drano. As in the drain cleaning.
It's the box art. Yeah, it's a CE. It's a collector's edition.
Yeah, right.
I believe that 100%.
Right.
Categorically. Yeah.
Comes with two free 12 ounces. Clean any drain.
Comes with a free 40. What?
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 People are like, what are we looking at? It's the Warlords of Drano box art. You
you're
missed
not
it.
looking at it.
That dropped today as well. We had the exclusive on that. Nobody else had that except Gamebreaker. So go over and check that out. That's some fantastic Photoshop work. Hey, internet.
I gotta say, the only thing
the internet was below.
It needs a Drano bottle in the background.
Right.
But he's holding it. It's in his hand. It's in his hand.
Oh, I can't see that from here.
Oh my God!
Oh, there it is.
He's holding it. It's even better. See that the Photoshop skills of this guy.
Subtle.
10.
Subtle.
You wonder who did it. That'd be me. Go ahead, internet. Go ahead and yell and scream. I'm deaf. I'm deaf to it. All right. So next up, we did have a show last week, so there's a lot to talk about. All kinds of stuff. So the models were the big drop today. Everybody's super excited about them. I expect really quickly back on this thing. I would expect this Artcraft. Since they're calling this Artcraft now, first look, I'm assuming this is going to be sort of like their first look kind of place to bring out more of the artwork and kind of give it a name so Blizzard can use it as a platform. So I would expect for you guys to see more in this section of battle.net.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
But last week, we didn't have a show because it was somebody's birthday. Happy birthday!
Happy
birthday! Did you have fun?
Yeah, I did. I had an awesome time, actually. I just went out to a bar and my friends were like, so, surprise! We're going down to see Wicked in the midnight showing and there's alcohol involved. I was like, oh.
well, we're going then.
Well, they were
guys, this is obviously more fun than Legendary.
Well, I was like, I can't really say no. There's a taxi sitting outside right now. So, yeah.
Right.
Sorry about that, the internet.
Happy birthday. Hope you had fun.
Thank you. I did. I had a great time.
So these came out last week. We got not one, but two new mounts were revealed. First up, we talked about this at last week's Gamebreaker show. Didn't we?
Yeah.
Was that Gamebreaker? Yeah, it was Gamebreaker.
No. Did we talk about the new mount? I don't know.
Didn't we?
Talked about so many things.
I think we did because we all gushed about it.
I don't think it was. No, I think it was 2 weeks ago that we talked about it. Because I'm pretty sure we talked about this this double-headed dragon flying.
Oh, I know we've talked about it before.
Yeah, we've talked about it before because they announced it and then brought it out very quickly.
Yeah.
It's unbelievably awesome. No, we talked about this because we were all gushing about how freaking cool this is. This has got to be the best mount that we've ever made. It's got freaking rockets and 2 heads, and even Shaftnet was like, "I don't buy mounts, but I think I'm gonna buy this mount."
Gotta hold off. I haven't bought it yet, but
really,
you haven't bought it yet? I have.
I have not bought it yet, but it does barrel rolls. I mean, did you just see that barrel rolls?
No, it's cool.
Cute Peppy.
It is.
Door barrel roll.
Now, there was the new engineering mount, the Sky Golem, right? Sky Golem is super, super cool and available in-game. You don't have to pay real money for it. And then there's this one, and this one has a lot of Does the barrel roll just like the Sky Golem. Not quite as cool as the Sky Golem, but I still bought it anyway. Because I'm a sucker.
I think it's cool. I like this better than the Sky Golem because it's got 2 heads. It's got 2 heads. How cool is that? Like it's a 2-headed thing. Like, does that make it a chimera or a dragon? Anyway, doesn't matter. But like the barrel roll that it does is totally the same as the Sky Golem's one.
Right. I think it goes the opposite way, but it's the same.
Oh really? Yeah, it's the same animation.
So what's the other man? This is something that looks like this is a flying Raven Lord looking thing. This is like some just coming soon.
Yeah.
Right now. No. Do we have any idea where this comes from?
This is fan service to everybody who actually went out and got the Raven Lord ground mount and was like, it has freaking wings. This thing should fly.
Yeah.
And so they were finally like, fine, we'll make it so that it can fly. I don't think it's so it could fly. They made a version that was like it to adhere to the fact that people liked that mount and wanted to fly with it. But I think that's kind of where the inspiration for this mount came from.
And I am not happy. As somebody who ran through Sethic Halls, I think probably 100, 150 times. I mean, at various levels, so that I was just kind of soloing it or whatever. But I went through that place a lot to get that stupid Ravenlord mount that can't fly and is a bird. And then they come out and they say, oh, hey, it's coming out. It's going to fly. No, just make my Ravenlord mount fly. That would be best.
You mad?
You want to know the best part?
I am.
You want to know the best part, Pat? I'm probably the only druid who hasn't taken the time to grind out that mount. So my time invested is now well earned.
You are so God. I know, like I got the Anzu mount on like my 3rd try, so I don't even know what you guys are whining about. Like you just go in there like 3 times and you get a mount. No big deal,
I am
right?
Out of here. I will see you later.
Yeah, I've gone in probably about 20 or 30 times and eventually just threw my hands in the air. It's like, nope, not dealing with
I also soloed Temple, frickin' what's it called? Oh my god! Not Black Temple, the other one, the one with the eye, one with the Blood Elf one.
Give us the eye!
Anyway, so I got the Ashes of Valar on my very first solo of that on my US account. Like literally rocked down in there, I was going after some pets. I was like, oh yeah, I'll go get some pets, this will be cool. Oh, and Ashes of Valar. Nice.
That's Magister's Terrace, right?
No, it's not. Magister's Terrace is the Hawkstrider.
Right.
Tempter's Keep, thank you, the Benno in chat room. But yeah, so it's like this Anzu one, but Gary was saying, where does it come from? It is so, like, I don't even think this is open to discussion. It is the collector's edition mount. It is the digital collector's edition mount. Like, they announced the digital collector's edition, and like a couple of days later, and it's like Outland, like like freaking bird dude's called. Oh my god, this is a lore thing. Where's Missy when I need her? But Arakoa. It's an Arakoa-looking thing. It's all about the Outlands. It categorically, I don't think anyone is like thinking anything other than this is a collector's edition mount.
The moment you said Arakoa, and especially because they said during BlizzCon that they were like, by going back in time, we were going to see what the Arakoa were like before they were cursed.
Yeah.
So they had flying mounts before they were cursed, and because they were cursed, they no longer have the flying mount. So then everybody got the crappy ground mount. Great.
Yep.
Awesome.
Makes total sense.
Pat, the Arakoa flying mount, which made no sense at all, was the flying stingray jelly weird blob.
That was a different rep. Anyway.
Pretty sure that was Arakoa.
No, it was Sky something. Sky,
the Arakoa.
Whatever. I don't know. Anyway.
Well,
wait, what?
Coming soon.
Coming soon.
In the digital collector's edition. Warlords of Draenor. Kind of makes sense though. I mean, pre-orders are opening up soon and all that good stuff. So they also talked about, they said that you would get your free 90 when you actually pre-order the expansion. Talk about hooking you in.
Exactly.
Talk about hooking you in early, man. Hooking you in early.
I know.
Get your 90
Do you want a
at
free 90?
pre-order. Just got a pre-order.
Yeah. Do you want a free 90 right now? Do you want a free? You want a free 90? We know you. You want a free 90 right now? Yes, you do. Buy it.
Does this lock everybody in on the panel for a pre-order?
Dude, I was clear. How was I not going to buy this expansion? Of course I'm doing it.
Right.
There was never a reality where I didn't buy this. So yeah.
Sure, but usually
absolutely.
there's not. Is there usually an incentive to buy pre-order expansions?
Pre-order last year was with the annual pass. Like it was kind of effectively the annual pass because like if you bought the annual pass, that's kind of came like you didn't that tie you in for a year, so then you would buy Miss. I can't remember whether it was actually. I don't think you bought Miss with the annual pass, but it kind of pushed you in that direction, and then you got Miss Beta if you actually bought into the annual pass.
The annual pass was just buying the subscription so that you could get all the free stuff. So you got Diablo 3 and something else along with it.
But this is like this is heck of an early for a pre-order. Like we haven't like we're just hearing bits and bobs of news at the minute. This is early.
It was kind of funny.
You want to know why? They're trying to find ways and times to bide your time until August, September.
Well,
that's when it's coming out.
And you may be right, Mike,
I love how you're skipping it back to August, September now after you were so like September, and now you're like August, September.
I said late. I always said late August, early September. Always have said that.
So there were some cool things if you read between the lines of this latest post from Blizzard when they announced the pre-sale. There were a couple of things that were kind of interesting anyway. One thing was that you might be able to get your legendary cloak on your new 90. So, Mike, maybe there is some validity behind your 7 month waiting period until
there is
until we get the actual drop. But and then the other thing was that level 90s might be purchasable, which we talked about before, and so they said, yeah, we're running through some tests on that and blah blah blah. But then there was also another thing where it was. Might be.
Come on.
Well, they're looking into it. They're testing it essentially.
Yeah.
But
so
then,
That means does the button work and does your cash come out of your wallet and into our bank account? Yes, then it's in. That's what that means.
Right.
That's our test.
Exactly. Yeah. But then there was another thing where they were talking about the closed beta coming soon, and of course, they always put it with a TM over just behind it. But the closed beta could be right around the corner because they were talking about not just the closed beta, but also making sure that your beta stuff on your account are completely updated so that you might be able to get into it. So update your accounts if you haven't.
Yeah, I mean, do update your. I don't know, like update your account, but man, I'd love to see beta soon. For some, I just don't know that. I just don't feel like it's coming that soon. I don't know why. I've got this real, at this point, my May estimate was obviously wrong. Like, I'm gonna totally put my hands up and say that was absolutely clearly wrong. Like, I don't know. I still don't feel it's going to be as late.
Could you tell that to Shaftnit? Can you just say Shafted by
Mike Shaftnit? Where are you? Put the fourth screen up so I can see which direction he's. Mike, I was wrong, and I am sorry.
Yeah! Yeah!
However,
the only time you'll ever hear that.
I knew you were looking for that, Mike, so I'm looking out for you.
I still don't think it's going to be as late as August, September. I'm still hoping for a July release.
You can hope all you want. You can hope to your heart's content. I'm not changing my dates.
Can you put it on the? Can you put a countdown on the back monitor for every week so you can just keep it as
days a week?
Yeah, just keep us days of the week. Mike Shafted, Olivia D. Grace, and just keep that running so we never ever forget. What do you think? So beta's beta. Let's talk about beta. When soon TM. I don't know how soon do you think is soon? What's the estimate?
Well, we're talking about closed beta here, so I'm guessing that it could be mid-February maybe.
Could be.
For closed beta. For open beta, it would be probably a couple months after that, at least. So
yeah,
I wanna say that they did when Mists of Pandaria released, they did a press event prior to press beta going live, and I'm pretty sure press beta was one of the first public private betas that went out. And if they plan on doing that again, which maybe they don't, but if they do, no such event that I'm aware of has been planned. So we have to either wait until that happens, or I think I can get behind Pat and say February. They need to get on it. They do. I'll sit there and say that the actual launch is way out there, but but they do need to get it out because much like your guys' arguments for why the release date needs to be soon, players need something to keep them interested and to hold them over. And I think a beta can do that. And they need to get on it because they've got competition coming.
Yeah, I also feel like I don't feel like they can leave the pre-orders sitting out there for too long without a beta, because like pre-order this game, you'll get it sometime. By the way, it's not actually in even closed beta yet. So, but it's coming. Don't worry, we got this, you guys. So make sure you buy it. It'll totally be out really soon. Don't worry about the beta. We've got that.
Right. Wow, you actually said beta. I'm kind of amazed you said beta. What the hell?
Well,
she's an imposter. She called me right. She said she was wrong.
This is not Olivia Grace.
This isn't Olivia Grace. I don't accept it. You're gonna have to tell me that.
She's spending too much time in Southern California. It's weird off.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you're right. Whatever. I'm just gonna go surfing.
Yeah. We're gonna get a tan. That's gonna be what happens next. We'll be like, what? What even is this?
All right, let's move on. So this has been all over the forums. There's been some serious banning going on all week. It looks like it's related to bots. Josh Allen, aka Lore, was saying on the forums that bans were for the use of third-party programs, which I assume means bots. Do we know anything about this? Like what exactly people were using or anything like that?
There were a couple of programs that were targeted. It seems to be specifically. And those are, I don't even know if I really want to say what the names of them are because
probably avoid the actual names, yeah.
But it was essentially what it was rotation bots, right? So it was like things that would automate your rotation so that you could get off quicker fires and stuff like that. So
could you be a little more specific on what a rotation bot is? A rotation bot.
Well, it's just to help you with firing your spells and stuff like that. So
what's the URL to go for that?
Right, exactly. There were a bunch of bans on this from the internet. I will say it this way: from the internet, I was told that it could be upwards of like 500,000 accounts that were affected. Upwards of 500,000 accounts.
500,000 cheaters?
Wow.
That means like 90% of the viewers watching this show are cheaters. You shame on you.
A lot.
Shame on you people.
But the thing is that not all of them are actually cheating. A lot of them were just like immediately banned and then released. So I mean, as soon as they open up
it's like ticket, catch and release. So it's too small.
Yeah, exactly.
Banner release.
So and another thing that was kind of another one of the culprits for the banning was things that would help out your ping. So things like lag reducers, like smooth ping was one of them.
That's bannable.
Yeah, well,
it's weird that that's bannable. It's weird that that's bannable to me.
It's not bannable. It's not bannable in itself, but what it does is it masks the signal that where you're coming from, and so it looks fishy to them. So then then what they do is they go through and they say, oh, you know what, you're banned. And then as soon as you open a ticket and you say, well, I use this thing so that my world lag is not totally terrible, then they go, oh, okay, all right, I guess that's it.
The other thing I'd also heard from doing a little bit of research myself, which is more PvP specific, is that, and I don't know if it's the same bot as the rotation bots. Again, I don't want to spit names out, but there's a thing called a kick bot as well, which is something which will automatically interrupt casts after a certain time lapse.
Kit bot?
Kick. Like with your foot. Like what you do to a football.
What does the kick bot actually do?
It interrupts certain casts at preset times. So you can say, all right, I want this bot to interrupt every greater healing wave that this shaman casts at 0.1 of a second into the cast, or at the very, very, very last half second of the cast. And it will automate that. And obviously for PvP, that is dire. That's really, really, really destructive for the game. So yeah. Bad times. Bad. Don't use those.
So basically a ton of people were saying on the forums that they were banned incorrectly. Blizzard is taking action. Is there any feedback on this or how they're going through this to bring them back into the game?
This happens. I'm going to put my lore. I need a lore hat, like a wig. I had an Afro wig. Where is that? I just need a fro. But like, he always used to say this, and he's absolutely right, that every time someone gets banned, then it's like they're like, "Oh, I didn't do it. I'm on the internet, and I'm a good person, and I play the Warcraft, and I didn't do anything wrong, and I got banned."
Because the internet doesn't lie, or
no one lies
it's a
on the
big
internet
deal.
ever.
No,
Nobody,
ever.
never in history.
And
also
everyone is
apparently
always
what
a very nice person. They're never mean on
Very
the
nice.
internet. They're very nice
What
people,
the other thing that also apparently happens is that they get loads of people who are just jumping on the bandwagon and didn't actually get their accounts banned at all. And they're just like, yeah, me too. I got banned and I did nothing. It's like, did you
That's the phenomenon that's a phenomenon we always used to talk about with B and Josh, and we could never figure that phenomenon out. The people who like lie about getting banned. They're like, I got banned too, and they really didn't. It's like, what? Like, wow, you're really starving for friends.
Exactly.
I don't
It's
get
so
it.
weird. Yeah, it's kind of funny though. It's like these bots that automate the rotation. Like there's add-ons which are perfectly legit and perfectly allowed, like Claw for Feral Druids, there's Bit and Spell Flash for like a load of different, and there are tons of others out there. It's not stuff that I've used a hell of a lot, but there's definitely add-ons out there which will actually, while they won't push the button for you, they will dictate your rotation and can even help you to make macros. So it'll be like, hey, push like lightning bolt, lava burst. So, like, you can make macros to do all this. It's kind of funny to me that as long
I
as
need the one that's gonna just push it for me. I don't want the ones that tell me. Just push it.
It's like, as long as you're like pushing the button for each spell to go off, even if everything else is automated and all you're doing is hitting one, Blizzard's cool with that. But if you just hit the button once and then walk away and something else does it, then that's the point at which it goes from legal to bannable. And to me, I don't disagree with him. I just think it's kind of interesting.
But I think that to say that I think you said raw cat. I think I remember. I used to actually have that, and I remember I turned it on. I actually disabled it because I didn't enjoy it. Or it's called Bad Cat or Bad Kitty, something like that.
Kitty.
But
there's so many of them. Yeah.
I remember. The thing is the tool itself. Even if I had it on, and I personally feel I know the feral rotation inside and out, having that add-on did nothing for me, and I found it more distracting because I found it was trying to dictate something to me that I felt in my current situation wasn't best. Now, could I have been wrong? Absolutely, but I didn't want something telling me right in front of my face that I was doing it wrong based on what I felt my personal situation was calling for, and I didn't think the program could read that as well as I could. So
Olivia, was
there's
Mike
that
Sheffner
element
wrong?
that it's
Huh?
Was Mike Sheffner
What?
wrong?
Was I wrong? Was I wrong?
I'm
about
asking
the
Olivia
rotation?
if you were wrong.
His rotation was probably wrong. Yeah, robots are really good at robot things.
Right.
That's true.
Yeah.
That robot probably knew that I was running through fire and pulling things into the right. But my point is just that it wasn't something that was A, playing it for me, and B, as I said, as a user experience, it even conflicted with what I felt was the best situation to do in that moment.
But you were wrong.
It wasn't playing the game for me. It was just helping me learn. Because if I was wrong and I chose to understand that, oh, this is why it's telling me to do that now, all I'm really doing is just getting the opportunity to learn the rotation better. Every rotation has its ins and outs, and a lot of people say feral druid rotations is a priority system. It's not just a do 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's all about, like, is this up? Is this up? Is this going? How much time is on this? How much time is... It's complex, and it takes a learning process. So to have a tool like that to teach someone new, and to have it up on screen while you're trying to play, I think is a great way to try and learn how to play the game. And then when you're comfortable, turn it off. That's not changing the experience. It's not playing for you.
Isn't Feral the rotation for Feral? Isn't it something like
John
the John Madden?
Flippin' Madden.
John
Yes.
Flippin' Madden screen cap with just like drawing arrows all over the damn place.
Yep.
Yeah,
Has
my only.
Has there ever been a group of add-ons to the point that it would literally play the game for you, like walk to the quest, kill the mobs? Like, is there literally a combination? Because somebody
I
put that
think once
together.
it becomes that automated, I think it's got to be a bot because
That would be amazing.
like there's a point to which there's too much automation, and I think that once it got to that level, there's totally bots that do that. Like, I mean, I think this includes, I mean, I kind of hope, although I haven't heard about it so much as the other ones, but I was thinking when I saw this, that maybe this includes like all the battleground bots that we see that will literally just do that. Like they'll stroll around battlegrounds.
Maybe Chatham can send me a list of those. I'll resub.
Gary, I actually know of one. It's called Black D Tools, and it'll play the entire game of Tibia for you. You don't even. You can just take your hands off the keyboard.
Wow.
I don't want to play that game. I want to play World of Warcraft. I just don't really want to play it.
Sorry. Well, I just want to
watch it being played, but I don't want to watch a live stream. I want it to be me. I want it to be my character. Come on, I got to get to level 90 before I can get it for free. All right, I want to talk about some more of the stuff about the nerfs coming up, but first I want to tell you guys about our sponsor here on Legendary, and that is World of Warplanes. If you guys have not checked out World of Warplanes, it's absolutely free. No risk whatsoever. Absolutely free to play game. Just go to offergb.com/warplanes to download the game. I've been playing a ton over the past few weeks, and I gotta say, it's a ton of fun, man. It's super, super fun. It is not leaving my desktop for quite some time. One of the things I actually like about it the most, I love just being able to jump in, because sometimes I'm really busy and I don't got time to sit down and play for 2 hours or an hour or something. I love the fact that I can just jump in, grab a plane, be in a dogfight within 30 seconds to a minute, and boom, I'm out there, I'm flying, I'm shooting people down. It's great. It's exciting, and there's tons of customization. And I love the fact that they're not pay to win. I guess I don't know if anybody remembers, but Victor, the CEO, came out on stage and just did this speech, and he was just like, "Wargaming.net will not be pay to win." He's Russian. That's what his accent sounds like.
Do you want to know something really interesting about about the Warplanes game and the accuracy standards that they went to for it? I don't know if people know this about me already. My mum is a Spitfire pilot. That's what she does for a living. She flies a vintage World War II plane called a Spitfire. The guys who make the game approached her and a bunch of other Spitfire pilots to go and sit in their Spitfires, to catalog their Spitfires, take deep, in-depth photographs of the accuracy levels that they went to for this are insane.
And they went and hired, I forget, now I don't have now I wish I had the rest of the story in front of me, but I feel like they went and hired even one of the most renowned museum who knows all of the intricacies of all these planes inside and out from a museum, and they bought a bunch of these planes. It is insane how much attention to detail Wargaming.net puts on their games. That's amazing that your mother. First of all, it's amazing that your mother's a Spitfire pilot. That's just crazy in itself.
Retro, man. It's retro.
But that's crazy. No, they really did. I mean, so the thing that. The planes themselves, they've spent so much time building them to make them as authentic as possible. They did, but it's not simmy. The game is not very simulator. It doesn't, the planes don't react totally like a simulator would. They feel a little bit more arcadey. They're fun. It's a fun game. It's easy to just jump into and start playing and flying around. I actually used this video when I first started playing. I started playing over the holiday break, and this is a controls video, which if you guys pick it up, I highly recommend you go watch this video. It's on their YouTube channel. It's all about the controls, and it'll really get you started really quick just kind of playing it. Graphics look great. Tons of fun. Really happy to have these guys on as sponsors, and it's absolutely free, and it's not pay to win. Every single thing that you can get in the cash shop, because of course there's a cash shop, it's a free to play game, but every single item can be earned by just playing the game. You do not have to spend a dime in World of Warplanes if you do not want to. So I really appreciate the fact that they're going that route and not trying to nickel and dime anybody. Hey, if you got the time you want to play it, everything is available for you. Great. I think that's the model to go with. Check it out right now. Just go to offergb.com/warplanes. That's the URL you want to use. Download it. Check it out. Give it a shot. Like I said, there's absolutely no risk whatsoever. It's a completely free to play game, and I guarantee when you check it out, you're going to want to keep it on your desktop and just play it, because it's an awesome game. It really is. Thanks so much again. It's offergb.com/wallplanes. All right, so last up this week, bots aren't the only thing being nerfed.
Meow, meow, meow.
Siege of Orgrimmar has been nerfed in the past 2 hot fixes. According to our buddy Ian Hazakostas, these are targeted nerfs to help guilds over roadblocks instead of blanket nerfs that we've seen before. What's the feeling on this? Is this a better method?
Yeah, I mean, as far as it goes from their perspective, they were taking a look at kind of the breakout of how people are finishing or going through progressing on Siege of Orgrimmar, and there were some hiccups here and there. especially when it comes to 10-man teams trying to do heroics where they might not have as many cooldowns as everybody else, and so they wanted to kind of even that out a little bit, give a little love to 10-man heroic teams along the way, maybe clean up some other stuff from flex and normals even for some of these bosses. Make sure that people are progressing the right way, and just kind of even that curve out so that people can get to heroic Gary. And I think that part of that is because of the pre-sale thing and the new 90s, and they want to get people through this content, get them into because the closed beta is coming soon, and all this other junk. So I think that's why they're doing it.
Can I pose a question to you guys on this idea? Because you talk about the idea that they're doing this so that everyone can get to heroic Garrosh, but I get they want people to see the content that they make. I get LFR. I get flex. I get normal modes. Yep. But why do they have to?
I get funky. Sorry.
Why do they have to go to the extent? Why do they? What's wrong with having a roadblock for people in heroics? I know it gets to a point where it's not fun anymore. You get tired. You get exhausted. But why is it that they need to build the game for people to get to heroic Garrosh before the next expansion? Isn't there something to be said for the fact of like, damn, we didn't get there? Because then you want to go back and do it later on. If you've cleared all of it, if you get to the point where you've cleared heroic Garrosh before the next expansion, there's not much motivation for that feeling of wanting to go back once you're level 100 now and kill it like we have with previous raids. Like I think a lot of people went back to Black Temple because they never got to experience it.
Right. Well, and I think that there's a valid point there, but the other thing is, like, let's go back to Dragon Soul. Let's go back to Cataclysm. And if you remember, Ultraxion was like the wall, right? For the longest time, it was like the first 4 bosses where they were like nothing, and then you get to Ultraxion and you stop there, and you were there for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks trying to clear Ultraxion, and nobody could, and people were having extreme difficulty with trying to clear them. And all they're doing is they're taking some of these certain mechanics, and they're saying, you know what, this is holding up, especially like 10-man teams, where you say, oh, you know what, these guys don't have as much. It's not really, people are not really competing anymore for top ranks. So, I mean, at this point, the competition has slowed down enough so that you can look at it and be a little bit more, like giving some people some leeway on certain mechanics anyway to try to get them, push them through it. So.
I mean, I hear you on that. I hear you on that on a brick wall of Atraxian. But I mean, some people in chat are even saying it like there needs to be some level of motivation to need to clear something. If you can't beat something, it shouldn't just be tuned easier so that you can clear it. Because the problem will ultimately be as they continue to wind down the stats to allow the people who are struggling with heroic to start clearing heroic. And I know they didn't nerf Garrosh, but they're allowing you to get to him to start working on him because these earlier fights are harder. Then they're going to cause a problem where these guilds that would have been maybe trying to work for it over the next 3, 4, 5, 6 months while they're waiting for the next expansion, they're going to clear it. Be like, all right, cool, we're done. Like, yes, you'll probably go back and clear heroic Garrosh maybe for another month or 2. But if you have another couple months to go, it's time wasted. I think there always needs to be that lure of like, damn, this is hard. We can't kill this.
Yeah, I think it's more a case with these particular nerfs of how they are. Ian Hezekosis was talking about them on the forums, and he's talking about how they were looking for this very sort of smooth difficulty curve, and they feel that they've largely achieved that. But he goes on to say that there are counters at specific sizes and difficulties, and as Pat rightly says, a lot of these nerfs are targeted at certain sizes in Heroic. For example, the changes to Thok are entirely for 10-player. Like they are entire. Like there's no 25-player Thok changes. These are very, very, very like laser-focused, targeted nerfs for abilities and bosses that guilds are having specific problems with. And while I take your point that it's a good thing to have content that is difficult, it's hard to get through, I do think that when you're just like, they've obviously got numbers that we don't have access to. That they are Blizzard, after all, and so they're obviously seeing that guilds are just hitting walls here. And they want that difficulty curve to be smooth throughout. So these are nerfs, and as Ian says on the forums, these are nerfs to achieve that smoothing of the difficulty curve.
Right.
particularly for those specific raid sizes. What they're doing though is they're taking the other thing that he says is they're making it. Sorry, Pat. They're making the advanced notice so that people still had the time when he made the post at least to have a few more goes to just finish that kill off pre-nerf. Like they've done this historically for the last raid of the expansion, for every single expansion, and I think these targeted nerfs are a way better approach, than the blanket nerfs we've seen for things like Dragonsoul and ICC.
Right, and especially like Firelands, when you look at the back, that far, they did, I think it was like a 15% nerf or something like that initially, and it was like anybody that was having problems, all of a sudden they were at the very end. And so when you do targeted nerfs like this, you give people the opportunity to pass through these encounters at still a relatively difficult level, and then be able to still feel like they're progressing instead of just saying, oh, you know what, blanket nerf across the board, screw it. You want to get to the end, here's the end. And the other thing about these nerfs is that I really do think that the closed beta is coming soon, and they want to get their power players into the closed beta so that they can start evaluating everything in there. So I think that might be another driving force behind some of these nerfs anyway.
Could be, yeah, it could be. I don't know. I do think that they're like these nerfs are incredibly specific. Like, for example, the Crawler Mine nerf on Siegecrafter is only 20% less health on Crawler Mine specifically for 10-player heroic difficulty. No other difficulty. Like, that is a tiny nerf of a tiny specific thing. And Ian explains that it's due to the fact that, like, it's way more disruptive for 10-man because you have to take more people off the boss. Like, or there's fewer people who are on the boss in the first place, more accurately. Because, I mean, I'm sure that even on heroic difficulty in 10-man, like 1 or 2 people could deal with those. But yeah, these are very targeted nerfs.
Do you guys think we're going to see? Do you guys think we're going to see more nerfs before Warlords?
I don't think we need to. I think that one of the great things is that they introduced Flex, and so for those guys that want to see content with mechanics with their friends, they can go into Flex and have a good time. So I don't think that there's necessarily a strong need to do blanket nerfs like we've seen in the past. And while we may see some more targeted stuff, I don't think that it's going to be all that much.
I think, like Olivia and I said in the past, much like we've always seen, I don't think, and again, to make it so that it's not like they're not making something easier, they're going to provide the player buff, so that way they're being the good guys because they're making you stronger at 5% intervals every 2, 3, 4 months like they have before. And that way, again, even though my point that I just brought up, I don't think they should. That way, the people that are playing all throughout the next months until release do eventually have that ability to overcome the obstacle. I don't think someone stuck right now on a fight should be stuck there for the rest of eternity. And if they get better or as they get better, but at least if they're going to stick with raiding because we want to beat Garrosh before the new expansion, we're going to play until the new expansion comes out, much like we did with Arthas and Heroic Lich King. A week before it came out is when we cleared it. But it wouldn't have been without the increasing 5% buff. So I do think that system will still be there to reward the players who are dedicated to trying all the way up until release.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's also worth, I think there's a possibility of this, but it's also, excuse me, it's also worth considering that there is still things like the Warforged gear which we can get hold of, and obviously if you're not getting all the way through the raid, then you're less likely to be getting hold of that. But if people are farming still, like if people are still like able to stomach farming, then they will be improving their gear. So that the gear is getting better and better and better. And if they're getting those Warforged drops, and yes, it is possible to be really, really unlucky and never ever get a Warforged drop. But if that's happening, then there's the chance that guilds can be improving as well. I kind of, like, from what Ian's been saying, I kind of feel like we might see more and more sort of these very targeted nerfs rather than the blanket ones. But I wouldn't be surprised at all if in, like, the last, like, when we see that nerf, if we see a blanket nerf like Mike and I were talking about last time come in, then I think that's the point where we can be pretty sure that Warlords is getting very, very imminent. Because,
Soon,
like, that's going to be a real end of the expansion type of thing to do.
Yeah, and they do have the ahead of the curve achievement. So, I mean, obviously at some point they're going to turn that off, right? So when they turn that off, there's got to be something that's going to be coming for a blanket nerf probably, but hopefully it's small.
Pat Crane, follow him
Oh, Black-
on the Twitter at Pat Crane. And of course, go over to converttoray.com and make sure to watch their show live on Sunday mornings right here on Gamebreaker TV and the Twitch channel at 9 a.m. Pacific. Check it. Mike Shaftnet, follow him on Twitter at Mike Shaftnet. Make sure to go over his YouTube page, LOL Nation TV. That's where you can find his League of Legends Summoner Showcase Survival and Waypoint. The best League of Legends shows on the internet. Olivia D. Grace, follow her on Twitter at Olivia D. Grace. And of course, go over to WoW Insider, Zam.com, and right here on Game Breakers Legendary. So, we're back. It's been a couple weeks, but we're back. Follow me at Gary Gannon, follow Gamebreaker TV, and go over to facebook.com/Gamebreaker TV. We got a new show called This Week in Steam. Gotta check that out. This Week in Steam, go watch that. And don't forget our other new show. It's called Gamebreaker, the show, with myself, Pat Crane, and the Coltrane, live right after Legendary on Thursday. So if you can't make the live show, make sure to go look it up on the site as well. It's called Gamebreaker. Easy to remember. Have a great week, peeps. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.